We're continuing to look at our Explorer kit line here at Tandy Leather, so grab your tools and let's get started. This belt bag kit is one of our level 3 kits that includes using a number of different skills. Included in this box will be your leather and hardware, that everything you need to make this kit from start to finish. In addition, it has instructions in 3 different languages and the paper pattern, as well as full color picture instructions inside your kit. To start, grab the paper pattern and cut out the required templates. There will be 2 pieces that you need, the L and the M. On screen are the tools you'll need, so grab those and we'll get started. We're going to start by preparing our straps. Using the paper pattern labeled M that we got from the beginning of the video, we're going to mark out 5 straps using the pieces of leather that are in the kit. You'll be able to get 2 out of each of those pieces, so there's enough to make 1 error. Just be careful. Once you have them cut, you can optionally bevel and burnish if you feel so inclined. Next, we're going to install the snaps on the straps. You're going to use the stud and eyelet on one side as pictured here, and for the other side of your snap, you will grab the cap and socket. In all cases, these 2 types are paired together: stud with eyelet, cap with socket. Grabbing the eyelets first, we'll feed them through the back panel of the bags. Then, when we lay them down, we'll take the stud, set it over the top, and set those directly on our granite. Because the eyelet is flat, you don't need to use the anvil for that. However, for the straps, we're going to be using the cap through the grain side and the socket on the flesh side, and we will be setting those with the anvil. Always make sure you've grabbed the right size setter before you start setting your hardware. Quick Tandy tip: some people find it helpful to roll the setter slightly to help roll the post down as you go to set it. Try it this way or set straight down with firm, even pressure. Either way, figure out which works best for you. Next, we're going to attach the strap snaps to the front flap and the back panel. Start by putting your medium rivet post through the strap, then the front flap, then the back panel, and put your cap on the back. Do this for all of the strap snaps per bag, totaling 5 between the 2 bags. After riveting them in, we are going to feed the straps through the slots in the bottom of the back panels. It can be a little bit awkward, so take your time and try not to pull on the hardware too hard. You'll feed it into the back and then back to the front and snap it just like shown above. For this step, we're going to rivet the strap keepers into place. Using your small rivets, feed them through the back of the front panel onto the front, then grab these small straps. They're not going to lay flat, which is the point. So make sure to set your first rivet, then put the second one in, giving a little bit of bow to the strap so that you'll be able to fit your strap in later when we install those. To give the bag its shape, we're going to rivet the corners of the front panel. Using your small rivets, feed the rivet through the bottom panel in the 2 holes and then rivet from inside. Again, this can be a little bit awkward to get it to maneuver the way that you want, so be patient. You can also wet the leather a little bit here to get it to wet form and help you with this process a little bit more. It's finally time to sew, so grab your back panel and your front panel, feed your needle through the top hole on both panels, the front and the back. Then lock your stitch into place by feeding the needles back through and around the top of the project. Do this with both needles to lock it in its entirety. Then, using a saddle stitch, continue to sew down the entire length of this side. When you get to the corner, feed your needle through only the back panel, a single layer of leather, for a single stitch. After completing one single layer stitch, go back to stitching both layers, both the front pouch and the back panel, and sew across until you come to the other corner and do the same thing before rounding that corner and up through the final stitch side. Make sure to lock your final stitch just like we did at the beginning. Now we'll install the button studs. You're going to take the strap with the buttonhole punched in it and grain side up, feed the post through and screw the button on the front, tightening with a screwdriver. You can also add a dot of Loctite to this to keep it in place even longer. Then feed the strap through the strap keeper and button studded into place. Repeat this on the second bag. With your belt bags done, we're going to move on to finishing the belt portion of this project. Just like we did in the beginning, we're going to grab our snaps, pairing the eyelet with the stud and the cap with the socket. Try this out a couple of times before you actually set these into place and make sure that you have them installed in the correct locations so that when you go to snap them, everything's where it's supposed to be. Your caps will be on the outside grain side of your leather, where the studs will be inside on the flesh side. Once the snaps are set, grab your keeper and slide it on in between the snaps, and then feed your buckle through the oblong hole and snap it around your buckle. One last step and your project is complete. Grabbing the last paper pattern piece that we cut at the very beginning, we're going to finish the billet. Mark your belt using a dry fit, wrapping it around your body and marking where you want your center hole to be. Decide the length of this belt, then put the pattern on top of it, mark your holes and the end of your belt. Hole punch with a drive punch and use whatever cutting implement that you prefer to cut the belt tip, and you will be good to go. Slide your bags onto your finished belt. You can unsnap them or slide them through, whichever seems easiest to you. Remember, you can stamp, tool, or dye these to make them highly personalized just to you. These are a great addition to any of your outdoorsy activities, And an added benefit, these can be paired with other Explorer kits from the rest of our line. For instance, from our previous video, the fire starter kit is a great option to add to this. We'll just undo the belt and slide that belt through the appropriately sized straps right on here, so you can slide them on, or you could unsnap them and snap them back on. Great additions, you've got so many options, highly modular. Make sure to take a look at the entire line and see what else you can make that will pair well together. And as always, happy crafting!